Hey everyone, this is Elias from RevMatch Media, and today we're going to be taking a look at the 2023 Lexus RX500h F Sport Performance all-wheel drive. Yeah, long name. Now, even though it is a pretty cloudy day, let's just say you'll definitely be seen in this one. Let's get started. Before we get started, I do want to mention I unfortunately didn't get the paperwork as far as what options are on this one. But after driving this for a week and realizing, man, this is actually, really high up there on the list of wants, and let's further research, I was building my own kind of seeing what things are on here. So I may miss some things. So I apologize. But yeah, let's get started in the front. We can see, yes, the color, I know the grille, but let's get to the color first. The color is like a pinkish, has some pinkish hues, has some bronze hues, and mixed together looks really good. So I was wondering, I was like, what is the name? Why can't I kind of grasp what color it is? And then the name is Copper Crest, which makes perfect sense because it looks like a copper color. It just looks really, really good. The camera might shift it a little bit as far as like more towards one color or the other, depending, especially on a cloudy day like this, but you'll definitely get spotted in this, even in this foggy day. But it's just really nice. I love this shade of color. It fits the RX really well. Then we get over to the headlights, and we have the triple beam LED system. They look really good. They're nice and sleek, small, but man, the output on these is incredible. It does have the adaptive system, so we turn on the turn signals, and turn the wheel, and it will adaptively turn on those other lights to make sure we illuminate where we're going to be going. So really nice system, no complaints there. This does have the washers on them as well, which is nice. It's a little dirty. And we have the LED fog light down here. Yeah, these vents are kind of closed. It's kind of a shame. It would be pretty cool to have some opening there, and cool down what's under here, which we'll get into soon. But let's get over to this. Yes, this is my biggest complaint. The pictures, I didn't like this in the pictures. In real life, I'm kind of there. I'm kind of liking it, I'm kind of not. But then I think I realized what I don't like. And what I don't like is I think this transitioning from kind of like this smooth to this jagged grille design, which is just a couple of like rows, so to speak, of that design. Just leave it smooth and I think it'll look great. I see what the designers were going for, but honestly, I think it kind of takes away from this is not grille and this is grille. But overall though, the grille though is a nice design. I love that big Lexus grille. We still kind of have that on there. We have the front facing camera, which has been great with this 360-degree view. Yes, we have a button. We have a hard button for a camera system, which is always a plus. I don't have to go into menus or anything like that because I want to make sure that I don't, park too close to hit this guy down there, because yeah, the arrow down here is really nice. Now, I would have liked that to be black, but I can see why that little silver color would just, liven it up a little bit. But overall though, I do love this front. I love the color. I do love this front, asterisk, minus this little part. But yeah, I think it looks great. Let's go ahead and see what we have under this hood. We get under the hood and we have the 2.4 liter inline-4 turbocharged engine with Lexus hybrid electric drive. It is cranking out 366 horsepower and 406 pound-feet of torque. It is connected to the 6-speed sequential shift automatic transmission and then to the direct 4 all-wheel drive system from Lexus. We typically have a V6 under these, SUVs that are a little bit on the larger segment, not full size, but more mid-size. But we don't with this, and I'm okay with it. Let me break it down. So let's talk about the engine itself. The 2.4 liter inline 4. Again, typically in a 4-cylinder, we're looking at about 2.0 as a displacement. That extra 0.4 is definitely giving it a little bit more bump in power. Now, that turbo, the turbo is giving it that power as well. It's giving it that extra power at the higher end. Because when we have a hybrid system or an electric, vehicle, an EV, we typically have the problem where they kind of fall flat on their face after the initial juice of torque. And that's where that turbo kicks in, but it does it so seamless. You don't feel, it just feels like a naturally aspirated vehicle with a significantly improved throttle response. So this feels like a V6 with a good amount of juice to it. Probably more than a naturally aspirated vehicle, because again, that instant torque of the hybrid and then that turbo kicking in afterwards, from getting that power from the bigger 2.4, it just works really, really well. Yeah, someone was complaining in a GX group, Lexus GX group that I'm in on Facebook, saying, oh, Lexus is gonna go 4-cylinder on the GX. If it's this, I'm fine with it. I know we're going from V8 to inline 4, but this has more power, better fuel efficiency, and it's just as good as far as, power delivery. Reliability, we don't know. I don't know. It's still too new of a setup in this, but the power delivery is really good. And then we go to the 6-speed, which wasn't bad. The shifts are really nice. They're really smooth, really sharp though. But it's not unsettling like we get when we get a performance mode to a vehicle. Then we get the Direct 4 all-wheel drive system, which has been the star of this. So if we get this kind of system in the GX, I'm all for it. And the reason why is when we have an EV and those axles are connected to that EV motor, we get a significantly more adjustment in that power delivery than we can in a traditional mechanical, system. So the grip has always been there with this. It's constantly adjusting, but you don't feel it. So it just feels like a car that just has grip all the time, and it doesn't have, you don't feel that shifting of power or anything like that. Super neutral power delivery. It's incredible how this thing is, which is what you want in an off-roader like the GX. That would be great, to make sure that the power is going where it needs to be in a seamless way. Yeah. And I know this is the RX and I'm talking about the GX, but this has just been such a great power plant. I love what this has been. Yeah. I kind of wish, GX definitely has, if this is the base model, and maybe the V6 twin turbo on that would be great, but on this has been awesome. I love it. Well, let's go ahead and see what we have in those wheels and tires. We get down to the wheel and tire package and we have this nice 21-inch black wheel, and it is wrapped in the 235/50 Michelin Pilot Sport 4 SUV. Now, a couple of things with this. So I love the black design. It is kind of a flat color to it, so it's not gonna look as dirty. It looks nice though. I do love the flat design, flat color to it. I love the design to it. Really nice and big to really expose those brakes, which we'll talk about. Then we have, again, just the size, 21 inches, a nice size for this bigger SUV. And we have the Pilot Sport 4 SUV. I was not aware there was an SUV option for it. But if I get an SUV, we're probably gonna get these. These have been really good. And the grip has been incredible. Even in this like foggy, you know how sometimes it can get kind of, the roads can get that kind of slime from just a little bit of humidity, or just a little bit of just, literally water in the air. These things have gripped like no one's business. A lot has to do with that, that e-torque kind of situation, the hybrid system delivering the power and making adjustments. But it's been great. The grip has been unbelievable. The brakes have been really nice and meaty feeling. They do stop this big guy. So those brakes are nice and big as well. The suspension, that's where we need to change things a little bit. Literally, just on the gauge cluster, we need to go from the normal mode to the sport mode, because this is a little bit on the softer side. So when you hit a bump, it was just kind of continuing after you hit the bump. So sport mode, is definitely the way you want to go. So you'll have to customize your custom drive mode to achieve that. But other than that, though, this has been great. Just the power delivery, the feel to it. Oh yeah, and my favorite thing, Michelin has this like soft, it's like velvet on the sidewall. So yeah, my tires have velvet on them. Well, let's go ahead and see what we have on the side. We get to the side and we can see, yeah, this thing is incredible. Now, I'm gonna go on a little bit of a rant with design and how everyone says all these SUVs look the same. Yes and no. We still have to, after speaking to a designer, automotive designer, not necessarily Lexus, but the biggest thing, well, one of the questions I asked him was, how do you guys design when you have so many rules and regulations, government laws, things like that? And they said, you just got to do it. So sometimes some things are, yeah, having to be because of those regulations. So the creativity gets stifled, or it just gets hindered, so to speak. So concept cars, when you see them, that's going to the extreme. That's having the fun that they can have. But this, yes, it still kind of fits within a box, but there's so much greatness going on inside of the box. Let's talk about those. So first we see that hood, which looks really nice, kind of, these lines here are just incredible. It's just kind of this like scoop out of here on the hood, or this raising element there, which looks really good. The headlights kind of peek in a little bit on the side, which look great. We have the 21-inch wheels, which we can see really fit the proportions of this Lexus. Now, usually I'm a sucker for having the fenders be black or a different color, but honestly, I think it's the shape, the fact that this kind of bulges out a little bit and this kind of indents a little bit, and we have this line here on the side. It's just a lot of different things that really accentuate or give you more design aspects of just that little area, which again, you could have just slapped on the color and be done with it and make this fender the same. But because we have these lines, look great. F Sport badge looks awesome. Very simple. Black mirrors, yes. We also have the camera system down here for that 360-degree panoramic view for it. And yes, so I'm gonna kind of step aside almost out of the frame, but this line that you see here is incredible. The way that this is shaped, the way it keeps your eye moving, and then it catches this here, and there's kind of a weird, not a weird, but definitely a unique little like turn here to this side. We have the black framing. Now they took it a little bit further than just gloss black. It is like a black chrome, so it does look better. Honestly, I wish this were on the mirror because this just looks so nice. And same thing with this. I wish it would have had the same kind of finish to the top and the bottom of this. But we have this line, and then we have this line above here, and just this line. And this, it's just constant movement, constant motion. And it's that saying, a great picture or a great painting has your eye constantly moving. That's what this has. Your eyes are constantly following different lines. They don't quite intersect, but then they do. And it's just, they're flowing in their own direction. But it's just, everything is really nice. I love this side profile of the RX. Yes, I know I went on a while for design and lines, things like that, but I think this RX deserves that. We also have the black rails up here for those extra fun toys that you may want to put on top. But overall, it looks great. Now I have my key fob in my pocket. I'll go ahead and put my hand in here, and it, as you can see, recognizes my hand and it can unlock. Now, the thing about this is that you don't pull on it because look, I can't pull it open. There's actually a button in here, which has been great because I can just squeeze that and I'm good to go. Lights are on. But you literally squeeze that and you're good to go. You can go ahead and squeeze it again. Yeah, really easy. And then you have the little indentation to go ahead and lock it, and it's awesome. Now, funny how I'm just starting to think of it. A lot of times for my kiddo, it's really tough for him to open up some of these doors because the door handles have to be tough. And then I'm scared of him just ripping off the door handle when he's in his frustration of pulling. So this system has been great for him because all he needs to do, again, key in my pocket, car is locked, is just place his hand and squeeze the button. It's a very gentle squeeze. It's not even that much effort that's needed, and he can go ahead and hop in and be ready to buckle up. But yeah, so it works in the front and in the back as well. Thank you, Lexus. Oh, and of course, we can just go ahead and lock it in the back. Well, let's go ahead and see what we have in the back. We get to the back and we can see this is really nice. There's a lot of great elements in this and they all work really well together. Let's get started from the top. So we have this nice little spoiler. I love the design, definitely adds to that. Again, just a little bit of those elements that give it that extra wow factor to this SUV. So I love that. We do have the wiper hidden in here, which is great because it gives us the visibility, more visibility on the rear glass. There's not much. So it's a very, even though it looks big, the kind of cover or the back seat is probably about that much. And obviously, you know, the roof line is there, so there's not much to it. That doesn't matter though, because you can't see it, but right in here is the camera for the rear view mirror. So it does have an electronic rear view mirror and it has been on the whole time. It is so good. It's incredible. And what's great about it is that it's on the inside. So it's away from the elements. It's actually pretty high up, you know, any water or anything on there when it's raining. If your rear does get kind of foggy, obviously we have the defroster, but we also have the wiper, which will wipe right on it as well. So I love that. That has been one of my favorite things about this Lexus. Technology, right? Yeah, in a Lexus. Updated technology is the better is the better wording. But yeah, we have this nice design, and then we get to the taillights. So I'm sorry, Cadillac. I loved your guys' massive kind of light stick, so to speak, and I thought that was one of the best designs of taillights, but I'm gonna have to give it to the Lexus RX because these guys are incredible. So there's a slight tint to the outer plastic, but inside there's so many awesome LED elements in there. Just a cool design coming from the side and then just kind of wrapping all the way back here. And again, we get that awesome design here on the right side as well. But it's just, I'm loving this. This design is really nice. Oh yeah, and this is how we know it's the newer models. We have the Lexus spelled out instead of the Lexus logo L. Honestly, I kind of like this. I like the typeface that they use for this, the font basically for this Lexus. So it's really nice. Then we have obviously the badging, the RX500H with the Direct 4. Like I said, essentially their all-wheel drive system that this has. Yes, down here, these are fake. There's not much here. Yeah, I guess you guys will get a pass. There is no exhaust tip, but I'd rather not have an exhaust tip than have a fake one. And I think I just activated the next thing I want to talk to you guys about, which is the trunk area. Yes, thankfully, the other day I had a ton of things in my hand and I was like, I hope this has it. And I literally just sweeped my leg under and it opened it up effortlessly. Yes, so I wasn't kind of doing the can dance or anything like that. It was super easy, really quick for it to recognize that I had attempted to figure out if this had it. But we open up and thank you. We have, yes, it's not a 3-row SUV, but it's a 2-row SUV with a ton of space. There's a ton of space back here. We have this cover we can go ahead and put there to hide it. We can go ahead and open this up and you know, we just have a good amount of space. I love this. I prefer this than having a 3-row SUV where everyone is cramped in that 3rd row and then I get no cargo space. So I prefer this. And then we do have a nice little mat there as well. We open this up and we have a spare tire. So this is, it's a pretty big tire as well, but it's still considered a donut, so to speak. But the wheel itself is a pretty big size. Obviously you have to kind of match that larger 21 inch. but I do love this. It's nice and big. We have your buttons up here to close it. No complaints there. Let's see, let's push my luck. I think I did. I'm gonna have to play the lotto because that never happens on camera with me. But yeah, we have that. Now, I'll go ahead and lock it. We do have remote start. It is finicky. It has great range, and then it doesn't have great range. There is a sequence to it. Let me turn off the lights because I think that may stop us from working. So I'll just quickly go. Yes, so we'll lock it. So it's locked. So the sequence is you have to watch the tail lights, which is kind of the annoying thing, or the headlights, which is kind of the annoying thing, because if you're in your house and you have the car in the driveway and you just want to activate it, a lot of times just hold the button down and you'll hear it turn on. But in this, you really have to watch it because it's a sequence. You have to press it once, two, and on the third, you push and hold it. But you have to have the timing right, and you can see it starts blinking. You have to have the timing right to know when to hit the second time, to know when to hit the third time. And it turned on. Again, I don't want to have to do that sequence. Just give me one button to push and hold, or just tap twice and you're good to go. I can be inside my house. If it's snowing outside, if it's raining outside, if it's scorching hot outside, or if it's foggy and you just want to warm this guy up, then just, again, simple 2-button press, or push down and hold a button for a little bit and you're good to go. So let's go ahead and hop in for a ride. We get inside of the RX500 and there's updated tech in here. Yes, that's kind of unfortunate to say with Lexus, yeah. But we do have some updated tech, which we'll definitely get into. First, let's get started on the door. I love this door. There's a lot of great, cool things to it. One of them, well, the armrest itself is nice and comfortable, great positioning. I have my hand right where, it places my hand right where my window switches are, with no issues there. A little bit higher, we have this like kind of Alcantara or micro suede, like they call it, material on the topper part, on the higher part, and on up here it's a little tough with the arm, resting area here. There's really not much there. The Mark Levinson system, this thing is loud. It is loud and it is clear. I am loving this system, and it looks nice, even though it's not like the Mercedes metal grille that you get. The kind of cloth cover is nice because it kind of has this scoop that it goes with the door panel as well. But yeah, this is really nice. The great thing I love about this door is the way you open the door itself. So there's no like pull handle. It's actually a button you push and it opens it up. You also have the option of pulling the handle. I think that's the mechanical version. Yeah, because there's, the other one is the digital to make sure you don't accidentally open it up when there's a car coming. So it is a nice design. I love that. It's been easy to open up. It takes a little bit used to first couple of times, but just pressing and opening the door has been great. So love that. Then we get over to the seats, and the seats are nice. They are not big boy friendly. So laying off the tacos and the barbecue is gonna be needed when you have the F Sport seats. These things are sporty. They're effing sporty, and they really are. So the side bolsters here is definitely where it's squeezing me a bit right now, but the design looks great. Other than that though, it's nice. It's got heated, it's got cooled, no issues there. Has been, like I said, really comfortable. Other than, yeah, it's squeezing you a little bit, but I've gotten used to it. Then we get over to the steering wheel, and the steering wheel is nice. So it's a nice leather wrapped steering wheel. We do have some nice stitching. It's a little bit of a lighter gray color to it. We do have the buttons on the left, which are going to be your controls for your like infotainment system, as far as like the volume, that kind of stuff, this next track, and so on, which we'll get into a little bit more detail. Then we get to the right and we have the cruise control options on there. Now we do have a heads-up display. So this heads-up display, because these values are nothing really here, when you kind of hover your finger over it, The heads-up display shows you what those functions are at the moment, because they are dual menu systems. Yes, so there are two kind of dual sets of menus for each side, which has been great. Only thing though is you gotta not, I know some people complained about it, but you can't have your hands kind of in the front or else you'll accidentally be activating. So just place your hands a little bit higher and you should be fine with that. But I love this system because, again, times where I need to really focus on the road, especially in inclement weather like we have right now with this fog, I want to go ahead and just hover my arrow, my finger over one of the arrows, and it activates that menu, and I can make sure that I am choosing the correct option that I want to either go to next track or so on. Same thing with the volume. Even though it has a clear speaker plus, speaker minus, you can just go ahead and hover over it, and it will show you where your finger is. Really nice. Again, some people complain because it kept popping up. Just reposition your hands a little bit, and honestly, you won't even notice. Then we get to the back of the steering wheel, and we have the paddle shifters. They've been great. I haven't really used them, even though this is the F Sport model. I've just been letting it go. It's been really good. The transmission hasn't had any issues with, shifting when I wanted to or not wanting to, that kind of thing. So it's been nice. I do love that. Then we get a little bit behind the steering wheel, and we have like their safety sensor, something like that. Basically, if I were looking over here or looking over there and not over here, then we would get a message that says, hey, alert driver. So it's kind of looking at your face, making sure that it's visible. It's been an annoyance though, so I haven't gotten into changing it because I've just been enjoying it and whatever. But it's been an annoyance because of the fact that when I am the way that I sit, I guess it just doesn't catch my face correctly, and it's saying, oh, driver is not alert or unable to see. Let me see, because you could block it and it should give you the message fairly soon. Yeah, sit up, driver's face not detected. So yeah, I'd say I'm pretty sat up and yeah, that's only kind of annoying, it's still great though. It's a great safety thing to make sure if you're dozing off that it will kind of alert you, because right there, that one wasn't too bad, but other times where it really didn't catch my face for some reason, it was just really alerting me like, hey, focus kind of thing. So it's good. Then we get over to the gauge cluster, and it's been okay. There's not too many options. You have things like the fuel consumption, you have the average speed elapsed time, you have the energy monitor, the audio, boost gauge, G-force, gear position, and blank. Yeah, it's the fun one, G-force and boost gauge. Yeah. The boring one, energy monitor is okay. I mean, it's just very simple and it's very tiny down there. Now, when you do change the drive modes, it does give you the option of changing this, because you don't really have the tachometer. You can also manually change it to tell it, always show me the kind of second mode where it's the like digital tachometer bar that fills up. But it's been fine. No issues with the way that it looks there. Then we come up here and we have, yes, we have the rear view mirror camera. So yeah, that guy there, let's see if we can, yeah, there you go, hi camera. But you can go ahead and switch it over and it is the rear view camera. So it's been great. I've had this on 99.9% of the time. I turned it off. Actually, when I got in it, it was off. So I was like, hey, what's this? And boom, it turned on. It stayed there the whole time. It's just good. It's really clear. The refresh rate is a little bit different than others, because others have, during the daytime, have gotten me a little kind of like disoriented, but this is nice and smooth. I think this may not be the highest frame rate, which might actually be helping its advantage or something, but it's a more natural looking, it has motion blur to it, which is what human eyes see, and not so really harsh artificial, which kind of gets the brain thinking, well, I'm not moving to that speed kind of thing. So there's something different with this, and I love it. I love whatever is happening. I believe it is probably the slight motion blur, which is a natural motion blur that you see in there. So good on you, Lexus. Loving that. Then we come down to the infotainment screen, and yes, we have updated tech. We do. We have a large screen. We have a massive screen, and this is where everything is. Literally, like, you don't have drive mode buttons. They're in here. You have your Apple CarPlay. It said it was wireless, but I haven't been able to successfully get it to wireless function. So I've just been using the cable. It's been fine. It's a big screen. I love the big screen. Easy to touch, easy to reach. Our climate system is in here. It's just nice. It's nice. It's no complaint as far as this screen. I wasn't a fan of having the climate down here, but it works with this one, or in infotainment systems. It's been easy to just kind of turn the knob there to get the temperature. The auto system has been great for this AC unit. So, yeah, it's just been amazing. It really has. I'm super impressed with this system. It is the way Lexus needs to go with all their SUVs. GX, yes. But it's nice. I do love it. And again, it's crystal clear, super fast, gets the job done, really. Then we come down and we have the wireless charger here. And like I said, though, I've been using the cable. It's been fine. Usually I'm a little but the fact that you put the cable and you can just go ahead and hide that in there, it's been nice and convenient, out of the way. It's almost like if I have it wireless. So I have no complaints about that. Usually I'll kind of complain about it, but yeah, driver inattention detected, look forward. Yes, I'll look forward. That's what I mean. But yeah, this has been nice, no issues with how this works there. Then we come back to the shifter, and the shifter is small and dainty. It's been fine. I love it. My wife hates it. I love it because it's a very manual kind of shifter, in the sense of, you know, to get it in drive, you kind of get it to U and down. To get into reverse, you're going to U and then up. To get it to neutral, you just get it towards U. And then manual, when you're down in drive, then you just push it down to go into manual, which is where I am there. But I like it because, again, it just, I don't know, it's small, but it's very quick and very easy to get into those specific gears. Wife didn't like it. She's like, it's small. She's like, give me a shifter. So I can understand that. Now, we come back a little bit more. We have the hold button, we have the traction control, and we have the off-road button. We come over to the right, we have the cup holders. I do love this cup holder. It's dual sizes. You can push the button in there, and it will lift one of them with like a little spring-loaded platform on the top one. I don't know how effective it is, because it is kind of a like a weak spring, and I feel like any slightly heavy cup will bring that down. So if you have a stubby cup that's just kind of heavy, yeah, that'll probably sink it in right there. So I would have wished that it were like, you know, push the button, it locks it hard, and then push the button again so that it can, or you know, you hold the button to unlock it and then push it down. Then we come back to the armrest, and the armrest is comfortable, nice position. You know, I can hold the shifter in the nice position. The only thing though is to open this thing up, I felt like I almost broke it, because the opening isn't in the front. It's actually to the side, on the side. It's a little button, but it's a very clean button in the sense of it doesn't protrude or anything. It's flush with the rest of the armrest. So I almost took it off, but thankfully I was able to go ahead and find it and pushed it open, and there's a good amount of space. Tissue box fits in there really well. Actually, two of them fit in there really well with no complaints. So yeah, it's been a nice armrest to have. We get to the back seats, and the back seats are nice. They have nice leather finishes to them. We do have the both heated and vented option on them. So yeah, that's really nice. I love the fact that we have that, because again, sometimes the passengers in the back kind of get shortchanged, but in this case, they get to enjoy just as much as we do up here. So they do have both the heated option, and it's been working. My kiddo has been comfortable back there, and you know, we've had some really cold days. Turn on the heated seats and he's good to go. If we were in the summer, we definitely have that vented option running, because we do get those 100+ days of 100+ temperatures as well. So yeah, it's really nice to have both functions, not just in the front but also in the back. And then we have the cargo area, which was really nice. Tons of space back there. We even have a spare tire back there, not a full size, just a donut, but it's nice. We have a good amount of space, and we do have the cover on it to make sure that nothing is visible. I love it. I love it. It's a good size SUV. It's 2 rows, and we don't have to deal with a third, honestly, half-assed rows. So we do love that cargo area. Now let's talk about performance. We're dealing with a 2.4 liter inline-4 turbocharged with Lexus hybrid electric drive. It is cranking out 366 horsepower and 406 pound-feet of torque. It is connected to the 6-speed auto and then to the direct 4 all-wheel drive system from Lexus. Now, a couple of things with this. Now, when I mentioned we have to literally go into this and get your drive mode, so we'll go into sport mode, and that changes. The throttle definitely changes a lot. So holding down the brake, holding down the gas, and we go. And this thing goes. It really does. One thing is we do get the power of the turbo. It's nice. We do get the power of the hybrid. So that's really nice as well, because they really work together in making sure that everything just works in harmony, in the sense that I don't feel any holes in power, no torque dips or anything weird like that. We do have, you know, when you deliver the power, it is going nice and smoothly. The other thing as well, because of the drive of the hybrid and motors, the power adjusts so seamlessly. It just feels like the car has a lot of the SUV, really. The SUV has a lot of grip all the time. It really does. It's crazy how it can deliver the power, and I don't feel any shifting of the power. It just knows, okay, I'm always gonna have power. So let's go ahead and we'll launch it again. Let's see if it sounds good. Yes, the sound is pumped in. Yes, it sounds like a small V8. It really does. It has kind of that it's got a good little rumble to it. It is only a 4-cylinder. It's a bigger 4-cylinder with that turbo, which, like I said, is really nice. But like I said, the grip on this, even in this kind of slick surface, is really, really good. Those tires have been just incredible. Are they forgiving for bumpier roads? No, they are not. They are extremely harsh in, you know, I hit a bump and I literally thought I cracked the wheel. And it was just something that I just couldn't see, but I was just surprised at how harsh that hit was. And I wasn't even going fast. I was probably 10 miles an hour. But yeah, just be careful with them, because I feel like you can hurt yourself, because it did feel like it hurt me. my kind of feeling than the car itself. But yeah, this thing is great. The brakes are really good. The suspension, yes, I have a little bit of a gripe with the suspension, because I had to actually switch my drive modes, which again you have to do from here, and I did have to make my own custom, because I'd like to have eco to obviously not consume as much gas as possible when I don't want it to. But when I'm in eco, it is gonna soften the suspension. So when it softens the suspension, it doesn't feel good. It's super like bouncy in the front. So I had to kind of stiffen that up by setting up my own custom, like I said, with the suspension being a little bit harsher, not harsher even, just responsive, really, because I don't think the in the non-sport or in the normal suspension, it just wasn't good. Like any little bump would just constantly have it swaying. So sport tightens it up, feels really nice. Highway driving, this has been incredible, super smooth, just awesome. I love it. Now, when I do have it in eco mode and you kind of let off the gas and it senses there is a car in front of you, it will start to slow the car down, which is nice. It's nice. So it's sort of a one pedal driving as long as there's a vehicle in front. But yeah, this has been really nice. The drive has been really great. The feedback on the steering wheel has been incredible because, again, we have those that electric motor just delivering the power where it needs to. It can make so much more adjustments than if this were just a gas-powered vehicle. Yeah, it really can. And like I said, it's been great to just kind of, you know, put the brakes down, get this guy turning, because it will turn, put the power down, and it will adjust and take you to where you're pointing your steering wheel, where you want it to go. And it's smooth. It's smooth at giving the power. Now, it's funny because someone was saying, oh, the new GX in Facebook groups, you guys know how that is, but they're saying, oh, the new GX is gonna have a 4-cylinder, it's gonna be horrible, this and that. And honestly, if the GX had this power plant in it, I'd be happy, because again, the power delivery has been exceptional. The power adjustment to the wheels was exceptional. If we had an off-roader doing this, that would be perfect, because again, that's all off-roading is, making sure we have the grip delivered to the right wheel. So that would be awesome. Well guys, I hope you've enjoyed my review of the Lexus RX 500. And remember, find the right gear. See ya.